Guys, welcome back to LFTV. Today's more transfer talk regarding Liverpool Football Club. Today will be all about our possible outgoings that might happen this window. As we all know, we got Frimpong, Kerkez and Wirtz all through the door. 3 signings that have been locked in. And now to our outsellings, because we need to sell some players now to kind of free up some space in our squad. Free up the wage bill and also just sell some players on so we can, get some more players in and, just have that bit more of a balance anyway with our net spend and, just so mainly we can get more players in because we've seen that there's potential. We still have about 200 million to play with anyway to get more players in, and we'll still be in line with PSR, I believe. So again, that's very good for us, but onto outstandings, because again, players are going to need to go, and some players that will probably need to go just for their future anyway. And we'll start with that now that I've mentioned it, and that's probably Harvey Elliott. I say one that for his future, transfer for him is probably the best thing, as he's now going to be more of a third choice for a cam. I mean, we have Sabozai, we have Wirtz now. He's going to be third choice playing in the cam position. He can also play on the wing, but again, Salah plays nearly every game anyway, and is not one to be subbed off often. And the times Harvey Elliott probably does play is going to be in cut games and stuff, so he still will get a run of games. But again, a winger is not his position. He is a cam. He's very, very good when he plays there, and that's seen in the under-21s, where yesterday for England, he scored a brace, got us to the final. And what an excellent 2 goals, especially his second goal was excellent. Dribbled through the whole team and buried it away. Like he's an absolutely incredible talent, incredible young player. It's quite a shame that he's going to be one to potentially go. But again, I don't think there's much of a choice really. We either keep him, and he's only going to be playing on the bench, and he said he wants to play first team football. He wants to be playing more regularly, and he deserves to be playing more regularly, and that will help his development as a player, because I think he could turn into one of the best cams out there, to be honest. He is the talent for it. And it's just about, moving his talent on, and, he kind of needs that transfer, and he's got a lot of interest from clubs, a lot of Premier League clubs, a couple out overseas, but I think the main ones, there's Brighton, West Ham and Fulham, 3 Premier League clubs that are interested in Harvey Elliott. I think there are definitely 3 good clubs to go to. I think out of them, potentially Brighton is one of the best. Brighton or Fulham, I'd say, is maybe better than West Ham, because I think at the moment West Ham are, not had a great season, and they're kind of one that are kind of needing to get back to form and everything. So I think Brighton is definitely good again, and they're good at getting players in, developing them, and they sell on players for absolutely loads of money. Now, it's a little bit different, obviously, where Javier is already playing for us, already in the Premier League. But again, they'll still help his development massively, and I think he'd do absolute wonders there for them. He's such an incredible player that he deserves to go, and he's not obviously much on our wage bill anyway, so that's not really a massive factor for us selling him. But I think it's more that he himself would like to go, and he himself deserves to be playing first team football. It's kind of like Kelleher. He deserved to be playing first team football. He's such a good talent that he deserved to have a move, and I think that's what he deserves. And it's a shame to lose him, because I think he's an incredible player, and I definitely think he's maybe been slightly underused in his time at Liverpool. I think he could have been in the start, and could have been starting games more regularly, or could have been playing more games that helped him get along and helped him maybe start being a first team player. But again, hard to do that with some of the other players we've had in our squad and everything, and it's tough. But again, it's a shame. It'd be such a shame to lose him. I would love to keep him. But I think just for the player, for his own career, he kind of needs to have a move and develop himself. And because then I think if he goes to Brighton, he could develop there and go on to get a massive signing elsewhere. I think he's that good. His talent is there, but And again, I think with his such having a good under 21s Euros and see how well he does in the final could mean we could definitely get some good money for him. I think even alone yesterday his performance gives him 10 more million onto his price. I think it'd be interesting how much we will sell him for. I think probably it would have been relatively cheap beforehand, but now maybe a little bit more. I mean, I don't know, maybe 30 million, something around that. I think at minimum I'd like us to say is about 40 million, because I definitely think you could get a decent amount for him, but it's always a bit tough with a player who's young and he doesn't play as regularly as other players, so it's always normally going to be a bit of a lower price that teams will pay for him. But I guess if you at least maybe 30 million, but again, we have a incredible team to go on and sell and buy players, and with Richard Hughes to negotiate some incredible prices. So again, we could be seeing a decent price for him, but it's definitely one player that is probably going to go. Shame, again, I'd love to keep him, such incredible talent, but I think he's one that's going to go, and he deserves it. But again, that's one player gone. Another space freed up for more players to come in. Moving on, another player that's looking like he'll probably go is going to be Darwin Nunez. I think a player that a lot of fans want to sell him. I think I'm included. I think he's kind of needs to move on now. He's not really hit the heights that we was hoping for him, and he's not really good enough to be our main striker. Even potentially off the bench, he's an option. But again, when we still have Jota here as well, who I think will be back from having a bit of a poor season, I think he'll still have a good output next season. But again, it's tough, and even both of them could go. But yeah, I think he's a player that needs to go, and we've had interest from Napoli. Yeah, Napoli have had interest for him, and then I think it was just the price itself initially was rejected from Napoli, because Darwin Nunez given the green light, he wants to go there. Now again, it's just trying to figure out a right figure for him, and again, that's probably a little bit tough as well, because we brought him in for a lot of money. We're not going to get the same amount. We're not going to sell him on for the same amount, but we're trying to sell him for a similar price. I think around about 60 million is around the price range that we're trying to sell Nunez for, and I think we could potentially get it done, but it's just going to take a lot of negotiating, because he's not really, I would say he's not probably proved that he's worth that much at the moment. Again, he's definitely had some good moments for us, some very clutch moments, and off the bench as well. So again, we can see that he has the capability to do it, and we could potentially keep him because of that. But I think the consensus is that fans want him sold, and I think him himself wants to move on as well. And yeah, I think that's fair enough. But again, I think Napoli is looking like the place he's going to go. Not seeing any interest for elsewhere, but again, it'd just be tough trying to negotiate that. But again, one thing with Nunez, that will definitely free up the wage bill a bit more, and he's 140k at the moment, so again, definitely frees it up a bit and allows us to have a bit more leeway with players and stuff. So that's a good thing that we might sell him, because it just frees it up as well. And I think he needs to go. We need to get in a striker that's going to be a goal scorer, bagsman. He's going to get us lots of goals, and that's the one thing we're really missing at the moment. Is just a clinical striker. Every other position is kind of covered now, and there's a couple of positions that in the future will need to be covered a bit more, like a centre back, which potentially might be getting done this season anyway. But again, a striker is the main priority now, and I think we'll be seeing one coming in, and I think we'll be seeing Darwin Nunez going out the door. And then moving on to another player, again, that's another one that's potentially linked to Napoli, is Chiesa. Chiesa came in. Again, I think everyone was very excited for Chiesa to be coming in, because he's proven he's a brilliant player. You see him at the Euros when Italy won. He was a phenomenal player then, and he was in Italy. Hadn't been brilliant after that, because we got him for very cheap, and he just hadn't had the opportunity to play many games for us. I think when we played Plymouth, I think that really kind of knocked him down in the pecking order for slot, because after that he just never really played. He still shows he can when he come on in the Carabao Cup finals, and that was a brilliant goal he put away with a Harvey Elliott assist. He put that away nicely, but yeah, apart from that, he's not played many other games, and because he hasn't played many games, I think it shows that Slot is potentially doesn't really want him in the team, and it's going to be a potential that he's going to go. I think he wouldn't mind staying at Liverpool, but I think as well he also said that he wouldn't mind having a move as well, and I think he'll be back to Italy, and I think Napoli is one that is potentially shown interest in him. Not sure for anywhere else, but I think it'll be, if he's going to go, it's going to be back to Italy. But again, another one that just knocks off the wage bill. He's on 150k, so again, it knocks off another one who's on quite a lot of money, and he's on a lot of money. We haven't really played him, so it shows he's probably more than likely going to go. And again, I think a bit of a shame if we sell him. Again, I would personally like to keep Chiesa. I think he can hit the heights that he was hitting before, not to the same level, but I think he can still keep a good consistency if he has a consistent amount of games, and he has a pre-season with us. But yeah, I think I would like to, but by the looks of it, I think he's another one that is potentially going to go as well, and it's a bit of a shame. But what can you do? A player that we have sold is actually Nat Phillips, is a player that's gone to West Brom. Not gone for loads of money, but he was never going to, was he? And probably a player that a lot of people probably forgot was even still at Liverpool, but he's a player that we've sold as well. Gets us our net spend a little bit more equal again, starting to get more players. There's a bit more money for players sold. He was a very good player when he did play for us, to be honest, when he came in at the time, and we had lost a lot of our centre backs, and him and Reece Williams were the ones at the back. It was brilliant. He played really, really well, and I don't think anybody is ever going to forget the time when he done that Cruyff turn in the San Siro, and Cruyff turned Zlatan. I don't think many people are going to forget that. That's a very key moment for him. But yeah, he's a player that's been sold, and I think, and then moving on to one that's not one that's going to be sold this season, but one that's is interesting with his contract situation is Konate. There's been lots of reports going about him rejecting contracts and him wanting more money and everything, but he did put a social media post saying all the reports are fake, and is saying about don't really believe everything you see, kind of like with Wirtz and wanting the number 10. Again, it's just media putting stories out there, which always happens, but him as a player said that those aren't true. It's just that he has had negotiations and they haven't really gone anywhere. That's all there is to it. I think, again, it's one of those that is a bit concerning though, if we can't get him signed again. It's one of those that contracts is always it's always been an issue for Liverpool. It's always been an issue for us with players' contracts and stuff. Hopefully he'll sign. I would like to think he would. He's a starter for us. He's going to be probably a starter for any other club he may go to, but he's a starter for Liverpool at the moment, and I don't see why he would want to kind of give that up at the moment. But who knows? There's a lot of things that goes on behind the closed doors that we don't know about. Again, we have to see. And again, the thing about his obviously not having enough money is obviously not true for what he said. And I would kind of hope it wouldn't be anyway. He's on 70k. He could probably earn more. I think he probably deserves to earn more. And he potentially could, with some of the players going, that frees up some space for players getting more wages. But I'd hope that's not, again, I don't think it is, but I'd hope that's not the be all and end all of him, just the fact that he wants more money and we wouldn't give it to him. I hope we would give him some more. He deserves to have a bit more. But also then on the flip side, thinking that, if he hopefully wouldn't want, it's not the be all and end all just because he wants more money. You got to think he's at Liverpool Football Club. We've won the Premier League. We're looking like we're going to go on and win more trophies. We're spending serious amounts in this transfer window. We're looking like a serious club in the transfer window, and looking like we're gonna go on and continue this consistency of hopefully winning trophies. But again, I think he said it about all the things wanting money is not true and everything, which is good because hopefully it's just down to the club, down to them to get his contract done, and it's important that we do get that because he's a brilliant player. Him and Virgil make such a brilliant pairing at the back that I would hope that he would go on to stay for us for longer. But again, we'll have to see how that goes. I don't think there's many more any other transfer rumours or anything going about with any other players. There's not been much more with Robertson at the moment. Not heard anything about what's going on with him again because he looked like he could be a player going as well. They looked like Atletico was coming in for him, but at the moment, there's not been anything else there's not been anything else for him. No other rumours or anything for where he's going. I don't think there's been any rumours for anybody else yet either at the moment. But I'm sure there'll be more to come. Again, still quite early in the window. I'm sure there'll be a lot more to come though for players and where they're going to go, especially waiting for the here he goes with some of the players. I think we all know that are going to get sold, like Nunez, but again, to see how it progresses and see what else there is. And I think lastly, before I do go, I think the rumours about Isak, they're a little bit, they're definitely building up a bit more. I think it's seeing online that it's more that Newcastle definitely don't want to sell Isak, and if we would have to put in an offer around like 150 million odds, and to even entertain the idea of them selling to us. Will we do that? Who knows? Like I said, we have 200 million to play with. I said there's potential we could just we could sign Isak, but I'm not sure. There's still the Hugo Ekitike from Frankfurt that's still about as well, who's I think one we're still keeping an eye on. So again, he's a cheaper option, and also the fact that we could be getting Gahey as well. There's the two there that would mean we still probably have money left over anyway. So I think if we want to get Isak, we'd probably have to wait for potentially his contract to run out, or if he doesn't want to sign a new contract at Newcastle and he waits for his contract to go, so his club can't come in and sign him. That may seem what's going to happen, because I don't think he would want to force out a move this window. I don't see why he would want to do that. He's loved at Newcastle. Newcastle a good fan base, and they're in the Champions League. So again, there's a reason why he could say, and there's also a reason why he might want to come to us again, because we've got lots of players in, and we've just won the league, and it's looking like we want to go on and retain it, and we want to go on and win more trophies. So there's either way, there's a reason why he'd want to come to us or stay at Newcastle. But again, it's with him as a player. We don't know what goes on behind closed door, and we don't know what he's thinking, but we can only give the reasons why you would want to stay, you want to go. But that's an interesting one. I'll see how that progresses as well. I don't think we'll get Isak. I would say we'd probably get an alternative striker again, maybe like that Ekitike or somebody else in the market. I think that's what will happen with us, but you never know. We'll see how it progresses, and again, we'll be keeping an eye on the window, and it could be given any transfer updates there are for Liverpool. But again, I think that's it for now. No other rumours for any other players. But I'll see you all in the next one. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you then. And have a good day. Enjoy.